Hey, what is up guys, it's Sunny here, GameFly77, and today I'm making another video. And this is a pretty big video. What I want to talk to you guys about is I'm going to give you ultra tips on how to improve yourself, get score streaks, win gunfights, and they're guaranteed to help you out in some way, shape, or form. And the gameplay in the background you're watching right now is a 87-9, I believe. It's not that good, but it's what I got, so don't hate me too much for that, but whatever. Alright, so let's get right into it. Tip number one, guys, it's a pretty simple tip. Some of you might probably already doing this, but for those of you who are not, you gotta start drop shotting. Put your button layout to tactical. It's on default, tactical, like press start, options, button layout, put that to tactical. Look at that fail right there. It was one off my escort drone. If I had that, I had the easiest 100+ possible. Anyways, so yeah, the only downside to drop shotting that I know of, besides not being able to knife, is that sometimes when you go prone, your head sticks out, and that's an easy headshot for them, or you can die from that. But it doesn't happen that as often as you probably would think. But just be careful of that. But drop shotting is gives you a great advantage over the enemy. And that's that. Alright, let's get into tip number 2. And this is definitely not necessary, but it's optional. That's to buy some special products outside of the game, like control freaks, scuff controllers, those special glasses for that shit, and getting better internet. Alright, so let me review each one. So control freaks and glasses, there was some like special video game glasses that like enhance your mind so you can do better. I don't know what the hell that was. And control freaks, like they increase your accuracy. There's something that goes on your analog sticks and that increases your accuracy. I don't know how, but it does. And scuff controllers, like, so you can knife and drop shot at the same time, which is epic. But I don't have any of those. I feel I'm good enough of a player without any special products. And better internet is just better internet. That's always gonna help you out. It's not required, but you can get it. It's you can have an advantage over the enemy if you pull host a lot. It's not as big of an advantage as it was in past Call of Duties, but having host is a pretty big advantage. Alright, let's get into tip number 3, sorry. And that's to use your favorite gun. So I'm gonna go through each weapon category that I think you use and tell you which SMG or which weapons I would recommend from that category. So let's get right into it. For SMGs, guys, they're all really good. I would stray away from the Chicom. I know T-Mart did some video about that, but I don't like the Chicom that much. Even with select fire, it's not that good for me. I don't know why, but I'm just not used to it. So that's that. Any other SMG is good in my opinion. You can use an MP7. Just try to stray away from the PDW. I know I'm using it in this gameplay, but I don't know why I was using it. Look at that. Look at that. Stupid. Anyways, so try to stay away from that because now it is garbage. The MSMC is really good with foregrip. It's still a beast. Take off the silencer if you have it on the MSMC. It really is needed. It ruins the gun, and you're garbage, kid. Alright, let's get into tip number 4. So tip number 4 is to play against noobs, and this is not necessarily something you can control. It can be if you like reverse boost. If you don't know what reverse boosting it's ruining your KD and score per minute, so you get matched up against noobs because the skill-based matchmaking. But I'm not a reverse booster, and I never will be. So yeah, just do that if you're a pussy. But I wouldn't recommend doing it. It just shows you have low skill and whatever. Alright, so that also means that the prime time for playing against noobs is Christmas, when you get matched up against Christmas noobs. And that's where you get into the holy lobbies where you can drop 200 pluses, the 150 pluses, and your first 100 pluses, nuclears, all that good stuff. So just whenever you get in those holy lobbies, make sure you're running the high score streaks, you got your class set up, and all that stuff to help you get better at the game. Alright, so tip number 5 I can give you is to play in a party. And this is not necessarily a good tip because, okay, let me explain it. Playing in a party is good for 2 reasons. One, maybe if you want to kill more, You can have your party run support. I play solo all the time, but some people run parties to get 200 plus and all that good stuff. I know, like, almost every member of AMP runs a full party if they're gonna get 200 plus. Just for UAVs, counter UAVs, to run support and help them get to whatever score they want to get to. So that's that. And it can also be good if you want to play the objective. You know, you're all trying, you're all capping the flags, trip capping them, whatever. And so those are the two advantages. It's bad if they're gonna be stealing your kills and you're gonna try to go for high kill games, high score streaks, or whatever. And that's the only downfall I can see of that. Or if they just suck and they're not gonna play the objective, if that's what you want. But that's that. Alright, tip number 6 for you guys is to try to play on maps that you know very well, that you're accustomed to. Like, don't play on maps like Aftermath, because they really get voted in. That well, maybe you do know the map, but I don't know the map Aftermath for shit. So I tend to avoid that map because, you know, I don't know the spawns on that map. So choose a map like Raid or something. You know, you'll know the spawns on that map and you'll be able to work them and get those score streaks and kills. All right, tip number 8 is tip number 7. Sorry. This is a pretty big tip. Is to pick your gunfights. What I mean by that is to don't shoot someone if you know you can't kill them, especially if you have an unsilenced weapon. Never do that, and unless you can handle it. I mean, I can handle it, but I still tend to avoid that. It's a pretty common mistake you can make, and I would try to stay away from that if you can. So if you see like a guy running past you when you know you can't kill him, don't shoot him. He's just gonna become aware that you're there. He'll know where you are, and you'll end up dying. So just try to avoid that. And that's that. So alright, tip number 8, guys. This is, I think I gave this the wrong title, but it's to play smart. So this is kind of a combination with tip number 7, but this is to not to rush balls deep, guys. Don't just like go diving into their spawn unless you can handle it like I am right now. But I mean, they're not spawning here at any point. My dumb teammates are trip capping. But anyways, and I died right there on a nuclear streak. Bullshit. Whatever. Okay. So play smart. I'm not recommending camping, but play passive when you have to. Like, if I see how I was inside that building there, I was one off my swarm and dogs. And if I went out, I knew I would have died. You saw my teammates dying over there. And now they have my swarm, they're going to work. Camping up in that building, but whatever. So that's that. Don't rush too hard. And don't even like go straight up in their spawn. Try to like head glitch in a place so they can come and you can work that spawn. They'll keep spawning there, they'll keep coming in like dumbasses, and you'll be able to pick them off 1 by 1. Or 10 by 10 like I do. Alright. So tip number 9 for you guys is to use the right score streaks, and I've breaking this down into groups. Okay, if you're like an average player or a bad player, I would recommend using like a UAV, a counter UAV, and a lightning strike, or something in that area. You know, UAV and counter UAV helps you get to your next score streaks, whatever they are. Next score streaks, whatever they are. For me, it'll be the lightning strike. So that's that. And you should also, for above average players, I would recommend like an AGR, stealth chopper, and VSAT. You know, you got like ground support, then you got aerial support, then you know where all of them are, so you're like unstoppable. Or you can use like Dead Machine, War Machine, VSAT. I know White Boy made a video about that, and a lot of people will tell me about that. So that's that. Alright, the final tip, probably one of the biggest tips I've given you so far, is to be prepared for your gunfights before they happen. So now this is kind of a tricky one. What I mean by this is that you have to aim down sights when you're going around a corner. You can't be a dumbass and sprint around corners. You're gonna die. Just like that. See that? I got shotgunned and I deserved it. Cause I'm sprinting around a corner when they're spawning over there. And I should have been aiming down my sights, being more aware. It's probably the most common mistake you can make. You just have to get used to it, and if you do, you'll be a much better player for it. Look at that dumbass. He was sprinting around and I was able to throw C4 because I wasn't sprinting. Clear examples. Almost every gunfight is like that, unless it's like long distance or something. So that's the end of the gameplay. That's the end of these tips. leave a like. I really do think I deserve it. Final score was 87-9. Be sure to subscribe for more tips. And peace out, brethren.